Cheers. That's some delicious raw milk straight from the Colombian farm, fresh from this morning. And in this video, I want to talk about the most perfect diet that I ever found, that I've been doing for like on and off for multiple years now. That's allowing me to get more focus, more energy, higher confidence, build muscle. It tastes extremely good. It's basically like the most peak state that I've ever been in when I'm doing this exact diet. And a lot of people might think that sounds crazy. Some people even get like triggered because this is so far away from their beliefs of growing up, of like what you're supposed to eat and what you're supposed to do. And I used to think that as well. When I started eating this way, I was extremely skeptical. And I'll tell you the story of like how I actually got into this way of eating, and like the concerns that I had, how I actually overcame those concerns, why I started doing it this way, how I started, why I stopped, because I stopped for a long time eating this way, and now I'm back onto this way of eating again. And man, like the biggest thing is like how insanely good you feel when you're doing this. Like energy, 10 out of 10. I'm able to just like sit down, take calls for multiple hours straight in high ticket sales, which is what I do, and just be so locked in, be focused on what people are saying, hear every single word. Like back in the day, before I started eating this way, I had no ability to focus whatsoever. Someone would say something on a call and I would just forget it like 2 minutes later. And if you know anything about like sales or like really any business, like anything that you want to do to make money online, like you need to be able to focus, you need to be able to be locked in. And this diet really got me there. That was the biggest thing, that it really allowed me to speed up my career and make more money because I was able to actually focus. And then we have all the benefits of confidence, mental clarity, be able to just like think clearly, make better decisions, gym, clearing up my skin. I've got some acne now. That's why I got back on this diet as well, to get rid of that as well. So anyways, in this video, I'm gonna talk about why I started this in the first place, okay? Because about a year ago, a bit more than a year ago, like 1.5 years ago, I stopped this diet. I stopped raw meat diet. At that point, I'd been doing it for about 6 to 7 months, only having raw meat. That was everything that I had. I literally only ate raw beef, raw eggs, and like raw dairy for 6 to 7 months. Zero cheat meals. And how that started was, I was just extremely curious when I was like, before that, I was having more like a normal carnivore diet, like having like meat, eggs, but everything was cooked. And I heard about this one guy online who was like eating raw meat and drinking raw eggs. And I was like, damn, what is this guy doing? Like, this sounds crazy. Like, this goes against everything that I've ever heard, like growing up, kind of like the matrix, if you want to call it that. It goes against the entire matrix and all that stuff that you're taught to do. And I've always been like kind of curious about those type of things. Like if you can do something that's outside the matrix and you can get benefits that most people never tap into because they're too scared to do it, that stuff I'm really into doing, So I started like talking to this guy. I ended up like investing into coaching from this guy to like learn what he was doing. And then like I invested quite a lot of money. I think it's like 3 or 4K euros into a program to learn from this guy. And yeah, as a result of that, obviously I had to try it out. I had to like go all in it. And man, it was crazy because like first time I remember just like taking a bunch of raw meat, raw like ground beef, just putting it on a plate, eating that shit, and I felt like it felt in some way like very like primal, very like animalistic, and it was good. Like I actually enjoyed it and my body craved it. So I started like just eating I would eat like 1 kilo of just raw ground beef every single day without a problem. I would eat that shit in like 10 minutes. It's crazy. And I did that for multiple months. Like I said, 6 to 7 months. I was in Costa Rica, I was in Mexico, I was here in Colombia and some other places I can't remember. And I made a lot of money. I was very focused. My high ticket closing career really took off during that time because I was so like locked in. Health got better, skin was super clear, built a lot of muscle, felt very good overall. Then what happened, long story short, is after a time I started resenting raw meat. I couldn't eat raw meat for some reason. After like 7 or 6.5 months, something like that. I remember like sitting down trying to like eat raw meat, trying to eat my like typical 1 kilo of raw ground beef that one day, and I couldn't eat it. And it's been like out of nowhere, like every single day before I could eat it no problem, and then that one day I couldn't eat it. And I think it came down, like now looking back, I've talked to a bunch of people about like why that happened. I think it's just because I ate low quality meat. The cows were fed like what's it called? Like they had antibiotics, and they didn't have only grass, they were eating like grains and like a lot of things like that. And that's why I had toxins in it, and that's why my body started resenting it, So, but what happens is I started resenting meat, and I thought, okay, because I'm resenting the raw meat, I kind of started believing the matrix, I started believing, okay, I'm resenting raw meat, that means that I am not supposed to eat raw meat, because everyone that was in the matrix around me, like my parents and like old friends, etc., they were like, no, this is bad, this is weird. The people like even comments on YouTube and like social media and stuff, it's like, this is weird, this is bad. And I started kind of like buy into that, which was retarded. So I went back to cooking food, did that for about a year and a half, until just like a week ago. And I've been feeling okay, been feeling alright, but now we're back on this diet. I've been doing it for about 3 days now. And man, like the way I feel, just having some, like show you guys before, the raw milk that I'm having right now, delicious. What I'm eating right now, I can make a video going more in depth into it, but I'm basically just having like the highest quality meat I can find, about a kilo of just like beef every single day. I spend honestly a lot of money on that, but it's like getting the highest quality stuff. Getting egg yolks, also high quality stuff from a farm, some salt, a lot of water, raw milk, and some bone marrow. That's what I'm having every single day. I can talk about the quantities and like when I'm having it and all the stuff in a later video if you guys are interested. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in this. I just want to make this video regardless because I like talking about this stuff. So maybe some of you guys are going to try this. Some of you guys are going to hop on the raw meat diet and see the same benefits. If so, great. If you're someone who actually dares doing that. If not, that's cool as well. But this is what I'm doing right now. I'm back on this diet. I'm going to document everything on the channel, see exactly like the results, getting rid of the acne, getting back into the high energy, and really back into the peak state that I was in before. And really let's just like see where this takes me. And I want to encourage more of you guys, like if you're someone who's like, you want to try some new stuff and like you want to kind of get away from the matrix, because everyone's telling you like raw meat is bad and you're gonna get sick and bacteria is bad. Like the truth is that is, a lot of that stuff is bullshit. But I didn't know that back in the day. When I started this diet, I thought that was true, because that's the beliefs that I had growing up because of what people around me had told me. It's kind of like, you know, the thing where it's like when you're young and like your parents tell you, you go to a hotel and your parents tell you like, don't take stuff from the minibar in the hotel. It's too expensive. You don't question that belief. You just like bring that with you. I remember like a lot of times in my life, like I've been at a hotel like after that, and it's like, okay, just because my parents told me when I was younger that I'm not supposed to take stuff from the minibar, I'm not gonna do that. You never question the belief, where it comes from. Same thing with raw meat. Like instead of questioning and like trying stuff out on your own, you just believe what society has told you from a young age, that it's bad to not cook your food. You get salmonella, you get sick, and you will die if you eat raw meat. So my encouragement and like basically the point of this video is try stuff out for your own. Question the beliefs that you hold instead of just going through life and letting the beliefs that you have unconsciously guide you. Try stuff out. Question the beliefs that you hold. That's served me a lot. If I wouldn't have questioned my beliefs, I wouldn't have been trying out this raw meat diet. Feel the way I feel right now. Before I got on this diet back in the day, I had a lot of acne, a lot of other health problems I didn't like. I was extremely skinny, had a hard time building muscle. I fixed all that by getting on this diet in the first place. But it only happens when you're willing to question your beliefs. It always comes down to, I talk a lot about like making money and like career, which is my main mission, and why I'm doing this is to be able to focus more on my career and make more money and like achieve my goals in the future. And it also comes down to questioning your own beliefs. Do you believe that making a lot of money is difficult? Okay, maybe you need to shift that belief to actually make a lot of money. Okay, so that's what this entire journey is about, and that's what this channel is about as well. Is if you want to take a path that's different from most other people, you have to be willing to question your own beliefs and question and take a different path from what everyone around you is telling you. That doesn't mean that you have to start eating raw meat and starting to like drink raw milk and shit, but it could be one way of doing it, and it's worked well for me. It's been a fun experience. And I'm gonna document it. So if you want to follow this journey, make sure you follow the channel. If you're someone who's gonna try out eating some raw meat, you can start very easily by just buying some raw milk. There's a website called rawmilk.com, or you can also just buy some beef and just like have a little bit, do some steak tartare at home, you know, put some salt, put some egg yolks, put some olive oil on it, try it out. If you do, DM on Instagram. I want to hear and see if you guys try it out. And as always, if you want to work with me to get into the business model I do, get placed in a role to start doing high ticket sales, you can travel, get freedom, eat raw meat in Colombia if you want to. You can book a call down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Ciao.